All right, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, only give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect and the one-third remnant out there listening and doing this word with all faith and sincerity. Scattered amongst the nations and the four corners of the earth, to you I say shalom. Lord willing, this video is edifying. It's going to be the street teaching is edifying. And I want to go in first into the names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. Okay, the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God or Yahweh. All right, His name is Yahweh. Yah meaning He, Hawa meaning exists or is to be. And His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai. Yah meaning He, Yahushua meaning delivers or salvation, right? Because that's what He is coming to do. All right, He's coming to deliver the seed of Israel, okay, out of the incoming judgment, right? And of the whole entire seed of Israel, because Israel is innumerable. All right, only the elect and a small remnant of our nation are gonna see the reward of being delivered by Yahushua, right? Because as it's written, 2/3 of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans here in Babylon the Great, which is America, are gonna receive a very brutal judgment. Okay, 2/3, right? 2 out of every 3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to be put to death. All right, through either famine, pestilence, the sword, right, or thermonuclear missiles. All right, and that's what's coming. Okay, and of recent, this devil, Esau Edom, who is the self-proclaimed white man that the Bible calls the devil, all right, and the Edomite, all right, he has been getting exposed on a very large scale level, okay, for the things in which he does in secret that, you know, he thought that nobody would ever find out, okay? But we've been exposing it. We've been knowing what these elites and these demons in high places are doing, okay? But now it's just now coming out as far as cold, hard evidence against the devil through the Epstein files. Okay, and the reaction has been minimal by the average American people or the average American person. All right, in other countries, there's talk of persecution of those who was involved in these acts, illicit acts, right? But here in America, just another day in the office, right? As Donald Trump, President Donald Trump said, all right, it's over, we passed it, let's stop talking about it. Let's talk about more important things, all right? And he himself was named in this in these documents. 3 million pages, hundreds of thousands of videos and pictures, all right? All damning, okay? To the point to where they had to redact a lot of the information that was even put out there, which is in itself evil, right? Because that shows that they're protected. They're protecting the people who were involved. All right? But why? Why would you protect something as sinister as someone who's involved in child sexual abuses, right? Or child sex abuse, or child ritual sacrifice, or human trafficking, for that matter, right? Or corruption, right? All type of shit was in those documents. But for the average, everyday American, they don't even give a fuck. But these are the people who are ruling. What's up?
I just need to get to the point. Are you the artist of this?
Am I the artist of what?
This.
No, this is an old depiction of who the world calls Jesus Christ. This is what he looks like according to. Yeah, it is beautiful.
We are stranded in this South initially because we have something we need, but that is moving me in ways I didn't expect. So.
Yeah, his name is not Jesus Christ. His name is Yahushua, right? His name is Yahushua. He was a so-called black man.
I'm Diane. This is Maya.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We are stranded because somebody came around the corner right over there and hit my car. And I thought that was bad enough. He almost got hurt. It was kind of upsetting, but it wasn't that. They tried to rob us.
Yeah.
They were successful. I never saw that.
Yeah, well, you know.
And so they have my shit. I have no access. I've been to every church I can think of. I've been to my whole life. I know everything, but I didn't.
Well, you know, you got your life. That's important. Other things can be replaced. Yeah.
In his life, that would have been.
Yeah, that other stuff can be replaced.
Anyway, I need to get on the train to go to San Bernardino because that's the only place my spirit house is on the house of
Okay.
So I'm looking now to ask my community for any assistance they can give me. I don't know if you have any idea where I can get the money to get on that train. I will not get on it.
I don't have any cash or anything,
it's
but
okay. I just thought maybe.
I mean, if you just go over there, people hop on the train all the time without paying. You wouldn't be the first or the last.
All day long, but the thing with the link to San Bernardino is we're not going to get on it because they asked for the ticket, so I don't know what's going to
Okay. Well, I
okay.
wish you all the best.
I just almost had an idea, but I've been everywhere. I don't know what to do. But you're right. And maybe I should go over there because you guided me. You had this picture. You tend to be a little bit into God's messages to me. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just hop on there.
I'm not going to hop on there, but I think they'll be helpful.
Yeah, somebody, you'll get to where you gotta go. Don't worry about that.
What's your name?
My name is Kasadi.
Well, I appreciate your time for listening and being empathetic. That is more than we've got today. People that are looking through us.
Yeah.
Like we don't matter, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, well, have a good one. You know, may the Lord bless you. Yeah. Shalom.
We are already blessed, but
Yeah.
we'll think about that.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's right. Yeah, have a good one. But going back into the lesson, all right. These people don't give a fuck about what they these high their rulers are doing. Meanwhile, as we just seen, people are in poverty, seriously impoverished. All right, health conditions deteriorating by day. Right. But these billionaire elites, they out there on private islands, giving each other tips or inside information on what's gonna blow up and what's not. So they're giving each other insider trader, inside trading advice, right? Which is illegal. And they're reaping the benefits of it. They're capitalizing, making millions and billions of dollars off of this information that they're sharing amongst themselves. Meanwhile, the average everyday American is impoverished, man. Homeless crisis, right? There's a health crisis, okay? There's a employment crisis, right? A lot of people losing their jobs. Meanwhile, these niggas on islands, private jets, living fat, trafficking kids, right? Starting wars and reaping the benefits of the war, getting the spoils of the war. Are they gonna split it with the average American? Fuck no, they not, man. They gonna split it amongst themselves, and they gonna feast off of it. Meanwhile, you're the one who's been put at risk, right? Whose sons are they sending over there to fight these wars, man? Whose sons and daughters are they trafficking and offering as sacrifices to these guys, man? Okay, but does that fester in the mind of an average American? Fuck no. They don't even care, right? They too worried about ICE and fucking where the next meal gonna come from. Okay, they're not worried about all the shit that really matters, because this is what this place does. Okay, and Esau thinks in his mind that he could get away with this shit scot-free. You're not getting away with it, buddy. The Lord said he was displeased, right? This is this is Isaiah 59 and 14. And judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth far off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. All right, there is no honesty or transparency between what the government does with the people. There's no open dialogue. They hide shit, they lie, they steal, right? They keep you impoverished. It's crazy. The wealth gap just continues to expand, right? And now they're talking about artificial intelligence. Now they're talking about robots. So the little crumbs that you can get are no longer becoming accessible. No more Uber Eats. That's a robot's gonna take that job. You're an accountant. You into any type of career that requires some technical skills as far as like being computer savvy, your job is pretty much gone. Anything to do with numbers, computer programming, that shit's gone, man. Okay? Because they have anything with payroll, okay? Health and Human Services, social workers, anything that requires anything that could be replaced by a robot. For example, dispatchers. Okay, job gone, and it ain't even happened yet. But they're foretelling you this. They're forewarning you. Hey, artificial intelligence is gonna take a lot of these jobs. They said that AI, if rolled out in its entirety right now, can take 10% of the jobs that are out there. And that's just a soft estimate. And that's just with right now what they have rolled out. And they're planning on rolling out more. Okay? If you do Uber, you might be an Uber or a Lyft driver. Your job's on the line because they got Waymo, which is a robotic vehicle, right? Ran by artificial intelligence that, you know, doesn't require a driver. This is the future. This is what's happening. So people are continuously being pushed out, pushed away, right? Pushed deeper and deeper into oppression and poverty. All right, the scriptures say, if it weren't for the elect, no flesh would be saved. This nigga building these supercomputer data centers, right? To harvest all the information and data in which he's storing, to operate and use all these algorithms that he's built to monitor and track and trace you. He's destroying the earth, okay? Because that requires clean, fresh drinking water. Are those machines paying for water? But we gotta pay for, you gotta pay for water. You just can't get free water. But he'll give it to a fucking machine to run and operate a system to control you though. But are people gonna complain about that? No, they're docile, man. Okay? And then at the same time, all this information coming out about what he's doing in secret. Pizza, hot dogs, right? He's talking in code, okay? And then it's been released to the public, and he tells you to shut up about it. He don't even want to hear it, and nobody's going to jail for it. Meanwhile, let you not pay your taxes, right? That's why the scriptures call him. That's why the scriptures call him the devil, man. It says the Bible describes him as being unsatisfiable. Okay, because here it is, he has the world and everything in it, but he continues to extract more and more and more and more, man. Okay, because his desires cannot be fulfilled, man. He's drunk, right? This Isaiah 59 and 15, yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahweh Shema saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Right. There is no judgment here. There is no justice here. Okay? When you do wrong, you should, there should be a consequence to it. Right? And there is a consequence to it. If you're under a certain threshold of wealth in this society. But if you're above that, you can do no wrong. You can buy your way out of anything in this society, man. Here it is, Bill Gates is on his own fucking paperwork, documented paperwork, talking about a pandemic, right? Having dealings with this guy Jeffrey Epstein, and we know the things in which he's been convicted of. Okay, him and his wife. All right, of operating a sex trafficking ring and all this other shit, right? All the blood that's on their hands, and they were rubbing shoulders, elbows with these high members in society, right? These elites, Bill Gates and Elon Musk begging to try to get to this man island. Donald Trump, all type of allegations of this man coming out from having dealings with this devil, man. And nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna come about other than the confirmation that this is going down. But the Lord looked upon that, as the scripture said, the Lord looks upon it and he's displeased. Because this is not how a society is supposed to be ran. Okay? This place is unjust. Right? This place is hypocritical. This place is defiled. Completely, utterly. Right? There is no continuance of a place like this, man. The Lord has to intervene. Okay? If there is a God, and we know that there is one, right? He would have to intervene. Sure every brother and sister feel the same way, man. I can't stand this place, bro. Fuck. But going back to the scriptures, man. Let me read it again. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahweh Shema Shah saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Right. And if you depart from this place, you try to live a righteous life in this God-forsaken place, full of iniquity, full of perverseness, you're looked at as an outcast. People look at you like the problems with you. If you want to talk, here it is. All this shit that's coming out with Jeffrey Epstein, the whole Pizzagate files and shit, the human trafficking, the child sex, we've been telling you about this. And now it comes out, all right? And if you talk about it still, people get offended because their favorite politician is listed in it. You know? Still. If we come out and we say all this shit is corrupt, there is none amongst these heathen that are righteous, man. There are none amongst these leaders that are righteous. All of them have been defiled and corrupted and compromised. But then people look at us like we said something wrong. Right? And the proof is there, the evidence is there. And it's going to get to the point where they're going to try to come after us. Okay? Because the spirit of truth is back in the earth, man. Matter of fact, that's what this devil is having a problem with. Him being exposed like this has never happened. He's been doing shit like this for years. Okay? But for whatever reason, the Lord allowed this information to come out. To just expose this devil, man. You know? And he saw, continuing on, Isaiah 59:16, and he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it sustained him. Right. And the Lord is he's gonna send our deliverer to deliver us from this hell, man. Okay? The Lord said, who shall stand or rise up for me against the workers of iniquity? Roughly paraphrasing, right? Matter of fact, let me get it. Spell that wrong. This is Psalms 94:16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? We're the only ones out here calling this devil out. Okay, everybody else, even amongst the Israelite movement, if you want to call it that, even amongst this truth, there are guys who are still trying to save Esau, still talking about that he could be saved. We don't hate white people. God hate white people. What the fuck? Of all the shit that's coming out, you still taking that stance? That's some weak shit. And that shows that these other camps are complicit in that, man. They don't mind it, man. They don't mind it. They don't mind the leaders of this place, you know, being responsible for so many heinous crimes, so many atrocities. They don't mind that, man. As Johanna said, they just want a black land. They just want their piece of the pie, man. That's all they want. They want a piece of this kingdom. Even though, knowing how defiled and how fucked up it is, they still want it. Right? I want to see it burn, man. A place as wicked and evil as this, it needs to go. And everything that stands with it, and everything that's influenced by it, it needs to go. Look at the condition of the earth and its people, man. It's really, you know, there's no other option. But then this is the same. Look at what this devil's doing. And then you got Jake out there who still think in his mind that he's going to get reparations, or that this devil will, for 1 second, consider giving you anything out of this, man. And why would you want it anyway, when you know where it came from? Right? This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. Right. And it's evil and deceit. How is it gonna be quenched or put out? Well, first it has to be revealed. Okay? It has to be revealed for it to be overcame. And that's the time period in which we're witnessing this place be exposed, right? Be made bare, as it says in Isaiah, right? Which I'm gonna get, Lord will. We're witnessing it, right? The whole notion and idea that this place was operated off of the power of the everyday citizen has all been a lie. That is a lie. The Epstein files showed that. How do you think he got, you know, a guy like that? How did he get in the position that he was in, man? You ever think about that? Because the world does not work as you think it does. All right? They'll never give power to the people. Why would they do that? Leave what the future of this country in the hands of you morons, man. Why would they do that? All right, that's why Esau, you know, those Israelis, they call the everyday person, right? If you're not Israeli, they call them goyim, right? Cattle, sheep, and that's the way that they act. All right, that's definitely how they behave, like sheep, right? Very simple. All right. This is verse 28. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. And the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. And its truth starts off with the names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, right? And who the Lord's true people are, who are His true chosen. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and those of us scattered amongst the nations, right? That is where it starts. And then everything else falls in place underneath that, right? So this, when it says corruption shall be overcome, it's being overcome. The fact that it's being revealed is a big indicator that tables are turning, okay? Because this devil has been hiding his hand for a long time, man. Okay, he really thought that he was able to do all this shit and, you know, nobody is saying a peep, but we're saying a peep. Just because these everyday people, just because it ain't riots and people ain't burning shit down because of the information that was just revealed, all right, don't mean that you're going to get away with it. Because the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man. And He would not at all acquit the wicked, man. Matter of fact, let me get that. This is this is Nahum 1 and 3. Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord, or Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, hath His way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of His feet. Right, so the Lord's not going to acquit the wicked in any way. You're not going to get away with it, bro. All the atrocities that you've done, Esau, no. You just can't fucking, you know, flood the news cycle with a bunch of bullshit and just think that everybody's going to forget or that the Lord is going to forget. No, He remembers, man. Okay? And He is a just power. And He's going to reward you your just reward, man. What you are due according to the deeds in which you've done. You're going to receive that judgment. And it's going to be righteous. And what's the judgment of Esau, Edom? Extermination, annihilation. Okay? Because, matter of fact, there is no one who is evil. The scriptures call you the border of wickedness, man. This is Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And if you read this in the NIV, it reads, see that no one is sexually immoral or is godless like Esau, who for a single meal sold his inheritance rights as the oldest son. But now he wants it back, right? Even though he sold it for a fucking one meal, because that's the mindset that he is, man. That's the mindset that he's in. Okay? He's not a clear-minded individual. He doesn't see things in a rational way, right? He doesn't operate off the spirit. He moves as a beast. Beware of the beast man, right? That's how he moves. That's how he operates. He's an animal. He's a savage. That's why he can go fuck kids, right? That's why he can have the bloodthirst that he has, man. He can participate in those rituals, those blood rituals as he does, man, and do all the wicked things behind the scenes as he does. He's immoral. He's perverse. He's the devil. The scriptures say he is as death. Right? And it's all coming out that these things are true. And it's still, of course, going to be those who are out there, all right, who are going to try to save this nigga, who are going to try to intersect for him, right? Well, the Lord's going to lay you down too. All right? It's that simple. He's going to lay your ass down too. You want to be with him? You want to be like him? You're going to get the same judgment that he gets. And the Lord's going to judge Esau without mercy. Because he has shown no mercy. Okay? He hasn't shown any mercy. What, you think he showed mercy to those kids that he was trafficking and sacrificing on that island? Okay? Making deals and shit. He didn't even have mercy to his own. That's how this information even get out. He was blackmailing. He was blackmailing his own, man. For power and for position. Right? And for influence. This Esau is on a, you know, this nigga's wickedness is damn near like unbelievable. Right? This is Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 3. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, right? The Canaanites, okay? Who Esau gets these rituals and practices from, right? These ancient, because these are ancient gods that he worships. It was even mentioned in the Epstein files. He mentioned Baal. Right? He worships ancient gods, man. Okay? Molech. Right? Baphomet. These perverse, estranged deities. Okay? Known for their wickedness and evil. He's completely given over to them, man. Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices. And that's exactly what's going on right now. Okay? Odious works. Right? Evil works. Okay, and this devil takes the Bible and he does everything that it says don't do. Right? And everything that it says do, he doesn't do. Because he is adverse to the Most High. That's why in Hebrews it said there's no one as godless as him. Right? It's even to the point where in his mind he thinks that he's the Most High. Which is delusional. It doesn't even make sense because he sacrifices to gods and idols. But, you know, that's Esau for you, man. And also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feast of blood. And that's what they do. They murdered kids. They offer them up as sacrifices to these guys. Not only do they murder these kids, they have sex with them. They torture them. They drink the blood of these children. Right? For the adrenochrome, as it's called, right? Which is the chemical compound that secretes from a child's blood when it's under excruciating fear, right? When it's being terrorized. That's why not only does he do this to kids, but he makes sure these kids are at peak fear, to the point where if they survive, they disassociate, right? Split personalities and shit, man. MK Ultra. And then not only that, but then they end up becoming perpetuators or perpetrators of the same things that happen to them at the hands of this devil. Okay? Is there not going to be a judgment for this? Is there not a price to pay for moving this way? When the Lord said that he rid the Canaanites out of the Holy Land because they were doing things like this in the ancient world, well, how much more now? When Esau he's not just in the Holy Land doing it, he's all across the world doing it. The average person is a Satanist. Little do they know it. Do as thou wilt. That's the mindset of the average person, especially here in America. Especially here in America, man. Absolute demons. But they'll tell you, yeah, I'm a Christian, yeah, I'm a Muslim or whatever. But when you look at the actions that they do behind it, they're wicked, evil people, man. Celebrating all these holidays, right? Christmas, a satanic day. Valentine's Day coming up, a satanic day, right? Thanksgiving, a day that was dedicated and celebrated for the genocide of a people. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, man. Easter, what's that about? It's not about the Passover. But people are going to go celebrate it. And then they pretend like they have a God. They don't have a God. Their God is Esau, who's the devil. So their God is Satan, right? With their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that kill their own hands, souls destitute of help, right? So everybody here is defiled, man. The whole head is sick, right? Everybody's full of idolatry. Okay, the biggest idol here in America is the woman, right? They've been put on a pedestal and told they could do no wrong. Okay, and society follows after them in return. Okay? Which is also against the scriptures, right? Because a man is supposed to be the head, right? But in this society, they teach you that the woman is, okay? Anyway, going back to, this is Habakkuk 2 and 16. Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh Shemashai's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. That's right. So this information coming out about what the leaders of this government are into and what they're doing, okay? And what the elites of this society, what they're doing, it's a big stain on the reputation that this place has, right? the things in which they're actively engaging in. There's even, there's a lot of reason to believe that Epstein ain't even dead. There's a lot of reason to believe that, man. Why would they? And if he is dead, you don't think it's another one? He's the one that they told you about. You think these leaders you think this is something new? But no. That's above, an American's head, man. Right? A nigga tell you, yeah, he ain't on there. The Trump, he's on there, and Bush, and as soon as you say something about Obama, now the nigga want to bow out, right? Now he don't want to talk about it. Cause you said one of his favorites, right? Somebody he like on there. But the Lord's exposing all of that, man. How do you think these other nations are looking at you? I seen a clip of Putin addressing his nation, talking about the wickedness and evil that goes on in these hidden secret rooms, man. Talking about all the blood rituals, the demonic sacrifices that they do, right? What do you think these other nations are looking at this saying, right? Why do you think Bitcoin is falling? Because in the Epstein files, Epstein had a link back to Bitcoin. He was one of the what it looks like, according to files and documents, that he was one of the main ones pushing it, right behind the scenes. So that's why Bitcoin's going down now, because the root of it is a fucking pedophile, mass murderer, human trafficker. Right? So that's why these things are happening, man. This is Isaiah 47. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. That's right, man. Nobody's going to look at this place and think of all the marvelous works that it once did, right? They're going to think about the things that are coming out about it, all right? All the odious works, all the secrets that's being uncovered. That's what people are going to think about it, and it's going to continue to deteriorate. It's going to continue to get worse and worse. More information is going to come out. All right? More information is going to come out. All the way up until the very end of this place. Because this is part of it. The expose. Okay, this place must be seen and recognized for what it really is. An abomination. Okay? The most abominable place to ever exist in history, man. That's why the Lord is going to give it a very special death, right? Via thermonuclear missiles. All right? That's why this place is going to be turned into a lake of fire. Because of all the things in which has happened here, man. From its foundation up until now, it's been nothing but wickedness, man. Nothing but evil. Okay? Nothing but genocide, rape, robbery, murder, theft, lies, treachery, deceit. Right? Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. The Lord ain't gonna spare this place, man. Okay? No stone will be left unturned in this place. All right? As for our Redeemer, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. And that name, the name America, doesn't hold the weight that it used to hold anymore, man. People hear that word, people think of America and they think of junkies on the street leaning. They think of people who are grossly entitled. They think of women who are overly promiscuous and hypersexual. They think of men who are weak and effeminized. They think of food that's poisonous and defiled, right? They think oppressors, right? They think colonizers. They think stupidity, uneducated, misinformed, right? Not dwelling in reality, right? People no longer look at this place as somewhere that they aspire to be. A lot of people are leaving this place. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. That's right, man. We're only here, we're only in this position as punishment. Not because this nigga Esau there's anything special about him. The Lord rose him up. Okay, Esau has been forever known to be the most basis, the most weak of all the nations of the earth. But the Lord put him in this position, put him at the top, only to show his power, man. It's for his name to be glorified and magnified throughout the earth when this devil is taken down. Okay, and that's what we're living in. We're living in the time period we're gonna witness this devil be cast out from amongst high places, right? And he's gonna take his rightful place as a slave. Okay? The lowest form of one. All right? And soon after that, he will be exterminated. All right? Because he's shown us no mercy. Even to this day, man. Shown us no mercy. No favor. All right? And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it, right? He forgot that there is a price to pay for every action, man. There's a consequence for everything, whether it's good or bad. He didn't think about what happened to the kingdoms that went this path before. He didn't think about this, man. He didn't think about the end, what would happen in the end when everything, when his time was up, right? Because he's only been allowed a certain time window, a certain time frame, time interval to be able to rule and do all these things. He didn't consider these things. What's the punishment of oppressing the Lord's people? Showing them no mercy. persecuting him, right? Of blasphemy. He didn't think about these things. What blaspheming the Holy Spirit, blaspheming the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, turning him into a creature likened unto Himself. Blasphemy, man. But he didn't consider these things, man. But he will. And we're here. The prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shah, starting off with the apostles and the elders, a great millstone on down. We're here to remind him of that. What is to happen when you do these things on the earth, right? We're his reminder. That's why every time he sees us, right? That's why he's so adequate about making these moves to try to control narratives and to try to control speech. All right? Internet restrictions, right? Speech violations. Okay? That's why he's making these efforts. It's for us, believe it or not. Just because you people, you sheep, don't mind it, right? You don't pay it no mind, but you best believe he does, because it's funny. As all these memes and shit that has been going around since these files have been released. Oh, the conspiracy theories they were right. They were right. Well, it's going to change from conspiracy theories because he labeled us that, right? Conspiracy theorists. It's going to go for conspiracy theorists were right, to the Hebrew Israelites were right, to the prophets of Great Millstone were right. Okay, all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, because this is not of us, man. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that says in my heart, in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children, because this is the mind that Esau is in with this place, man. He doesn't think that he can't imagine that his kingdom is going to go out the way that it is going to. Okay, you ask the everyday American, they don't believe their military will ever be defeated. These Americans, they think that when they go into Iran, it's going to be just like any other war. Even when it gets up to the point of World War III, it's going to be just like every other war America's been a part of. They're going to come out on top, even though that's even false, because they ain't won a war since fucking World War II, right? So they don't believe it. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Right. So these things are going to come upon you full measure. America's going to be nuked from sea to shining sea. There is not going to be a place that this place, there's not going to be a place that is untouched by thermonuclear fire. This place is going to get obliterated because it has done the unthinkable. It has forsaken the Most High power, man. And it brags, it boasts in it. You don't think it's a consequence to pay for it? All the things in which the Lord, you look at all the examples of what's happened to nations and kingdoms that have done similar things, and it's all been bad news, man. It's all been, going out sad, pretty much. America's done all of those things. As one kingdom, it's done all of them. What do you think the judgment is going to be for that? Right? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and there is none else beside me. Right? So you trusted in your enchantments and this foolishness, right? And your spells and your witchcraft and your sorcery and your sacrifices to these different gods. But the Lord said that it's going to all come in full force, man. You're going to get exactly what you put in, man. All right? All of the energy that you put into this place is going to come right back on you. And it's going to come back double. Okay? And jumping down to verse 14, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Right, because this place is going to get obliterated. All right, the Lord has a bone to pick with this place for the reasons as what's being discussed, now. All right, you look at the Epstein files, the whole Pizzagate conspiracy, right? You look at the foundation of this place. You look at the things that they're doing now. Okay, the campaigns that they're doing now. We ain't even seen the things that they're about to do. Okay, they're about to attempt to exterminate you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so there's going to be a price to pay for that. All right, so without all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakah HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth. And Lord willing, this street teaching was edifying. Shalom, DTA, Abad Babal, DTN.